Well, the news of the week certainly has been the new minority ownership team of our Cleveland Guardians. And of course, the Blitzer Group is that minority ownership team. And a member of that team is our own Matt Kaulig. Congratulations. This is a power of inspiration that we talk so much together during the Olympic Games. But now you're part of the Guardians. But first of all, tell us how it all happened.
Well, everybody knows how the ownership group of John Sherman, had to go to the Royals, and then, obviously the Dolans had to sell a minority interest, and when that started to happen, then we've had a relationship with David Blitzer for quite a few years, and he just contacted us as a local interest, and we wanted to be involved. We're all about Northeast Ohio. We're all about the community. We love the Guardians. And so if there's ever, I think if anybody had the opportunity just to be involved as an ownership group or just to be more involved in the community, they would do it. And so we got involved.
Heck, I'd like to coach first base. I'd like to do that. I'd like to be involved in some way.
Hey, now that I have an ownership, we could try to
do that. Maybe a game.
I don't think celebrity game.
Yeah. Well, what if I got a guy picked off? Then you'd have to dispatch me.
There's a lot of pressure.
There's a lot of pressure. Tell us a little bit about David Blitzer, because naturally, when we hear about somebody coming into our sports arena, we immediately go and you go to Wikipedia and you find out what's going on. And you find out that the Philadelphia 76ers, the New Jersey Devils, Crystal Palace over in the Premier League, the Bundesliga over in Germany, a team in MLS. Tell us a little bit about this.
No, so David, he's got, and you probably just said everything that anybody really needs to know. I mean, what he's done with the 76ers, even in the short period of time that he's owned them. And the Devils are a young team, in the hockey league. But it's just, and the Dolans didn't give up ownership. We're just a minority, partner. But David Blitzer is a super talented, super smart, guy, in the private equity business. So I've known him for years in business, but with his ownership and several different leagues, I think he brings a different perspective. Like that's all I would say, right? A different perspective.
Absolutely.
Paul Dolan, still a brilliant guy. The Guardians are doing, even the position that they're in right now. The management group, the ownership group that is with the Guardians right now is just absolutely. They've been amazing with what they have to work with and where we are. And David Blitzer and our partners, I think, are going to bring some energy. And so that's what we hope to bring. We bring a tremendous amount of our philanthropic, prowess or however you word it.
Yeah, you've been a part of the charity foundation in many endeavors with the Indians, now Guardians.
Yeah, so we want to do that. We want to continue to do that. So when the ownership part of it came up, it was a no-brainer to get more involved. We've known the Dolans for years. We obviously are ingrained in this community, and so whatever we can do with the Guardians, we want to help.
Well, let me just say about the organization, okay, to kind of, add a bounce pass to you about the Dolans.
Yeah.
And that is, you hear about the organization and the market size and the problems that, a market size like this has competing in Major League Baseball with no salary cap. Okay, no salary cap. Everyone, the richest survive and the smartest have to survive. And they've been pretty smart. They are the youngest team right now in the major leagues. They are also the youngest team in AAA at the major league level, okay? It is an amazing organization that really, if you ask baseball people, they say, that's the way to do it. The way they're doing it, that's the way they're doing it.
Well, and you wonder why all teams don't do it that way.
Yeah.
I think, and we know baseball is mostly about pitching, right? I have a daughter, she's 14 years old, and I go to her softball games, and it's pitching. You can tell it's pitching. And I think even in our draft this past year, I think we drafted 23 pitchers and a shortstop. So the Guardians have been extremely smart about their farm system and developing players and working with what they have to work with. They're not shy about talking about our market size and where we are, and we're not in New York and we're not in Boston and we don't have the major markets.
That's right.
But if you do ask baseball people, the Guardians do the best that they can do with what they have, and it baffles even the New York Mets and the New York Yankees. It just baffles how they do it. And so it's just an amazing management group. And it says a lot about the Dolans, about how they run the organization.
All right, tell me this. You mentioned energy. That's the first thing that you popped out about what we can bring, the Blitzer Group, and what Matt Kaulig can bring to the Guardians is energy. How will that translate into the Guardians organization, do you think?
Well, hopefully it does. You know, we had a little bit of a celebration dinner the other night. And so when I say energy, it's about even what I'm doing right now, like on broadcast, like if there's energy. So I don't mean that there's not energy at the Guardians right now, but like we're a younger group. You know, I'm 49 years old. And so whatever we can inject young-wise into the organization, like we want to. So everything I touch, everything I want to do, it's like you want to have fun. You want to bring just a different perspective, different energy. Like we bring a different business perspective. And what I mean by that is like even NASCAR. Like I got into NASCAR, 7 years ago? And most of the team owners and most of the teams are 50 years old. They've been running, like Richard Petty and the Earnhardts and so it just brings a different perspective. And so whatever we can do to bring an outside influence different from what traditionally has been done, like that's what we look to do.
All right, so tell me personally, what does this mean to you? I mean, you've mentioned, you've been a success on NASCAR, the Xfinity Series. You've been a big success in business. You've been a big success in your charity endeavors, okay? You win. Personally now, going into a whole new genre here, Major League Baseball, what does that mean to you?
Well, you can even imagine as a human being, as a sports person, as like growing up in sports. I mean, I played baseball when I was a kid. I've been playing baseball since T-ball, I think 4 years old. So to be in Ohio, I was born in Columbus, grew up in Cincinnati, and then now I've lived here for 30 years, in Northeast Ohio and Cleveland. And our hometown team is the Guardians. And so now to be part of an ownership group that is part owner of your hometown Major League Baseball team is one, very surreal, but very exciting. And it's like whatever you can do to help. I mean, we all tune in the games, right, on the TV, or we go to the ballpark and we root for our hometown team. And so now to be part of an ownership group that owns the team, it's a little bit of a different perspective. Even watching the other night, even Saturday night, we were watching play the Red Sox, and so to even having part of what we own, playing the Red Sox,
there's a little bit more at stake.
It just feels different, and want to do great things for Northeast Ohio. So that's what we're trying to do.
All right, I'm going to throw this out at you.
Okay.
You can answer it or not, all right?
All right.
But part of the equation that was mentioned with the Blitzer Group coming in, or whoever was going to come in, but it was the Blitzer Group, was that over a period of maybe 5 to 6 years, there would be an option to become a majority owner of the Guardians. Do you know anything about that?
Don't know much about that. I know that the Dolans own the team. They've been great owners. They were super giant supporters of the community, and we just see what happens. I mean, nothing lasts forever. I think we were even talking about they're the longest owners of the Guardians, Indians, Guardians, that have ever been in the history of the organization. So, everything eventually changes hands and everything else, but as far as to speak to that right now, I have no idea. We're just happy to be involved with the Dolans and what we're doing right now and trying to win a World Series, right, for the Guardians. I mean, that's what we all want, and that's what we're trying to do.
All right, business-wise, are you also, now that you're part of the Blitzer Group, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you also part of the 76ers, the Devils, the all of the other sports franchises that they are involved with?
Well, we're not. The answer is no.
Okay.
We're not.
Okay.
But now we're big fans of. We want to be teammates with them, but as far as financially and ownership-wise, no.
In summary, okay? This is a great thing for you. We see you, we listen to you in all of your ventures, but I think a lot of people get comfortable when they know they're comfortable with the fact, and I know the Dolans have taken some criticism through the years for maybe lack of spending or the ability to spend, but they were local. Okay, they were local ownership. They grew up here. And the fact that you've said that you've lived here now for 30 years and you're a big, big part of the community makes people comfortable, the fact that you are part of the family. What do you say to that?
Well, I take great comfort in that. And I too, if I was in the community, would feel comfortable that there's a local person that has ownership in the team. We want it to be great. You know, we're not in Utah and then we own the team in Cleveland.
That's right.
So I'm super excited about it, and I take all the responsibility. It's a big responsibility, right?
It is.
I mean, it's a big responsibility to be part of an organization that people passionately love. And so I take it seriously, and we want to do the best job that we can for everybody, for us, but everybody in the community.
You are a guardian of the Guardians.
We're the guardians of the Guardians. We're happy. We're excited.
You can go with that.
Yep.
Matt, congratulations.
Thanks, Jimmy.
All right.
Appreciate it.